This guy taps on my shoulder, and I'm just a scrawny, skinny kid that's probably 125 pounds, jean cutoffs, peeking through this guy's window. He says, well, do you want to rent this place? And I was like, well, does the air compressor in there work? I go, yes. I took the offer, loaded out my toolbox. The tap on the shoulder is when Stuart's paint body got started. I'd originally taken paint and body in high school in 81 and 82. My first car was a 69 El Camino. Dad bought me just an old junker and I wanted to paint it. So I took paint and body in high school. That morphed into working at an independent shop for about maybe a year, and then stumbled into a building that I was looking inside of. It said for lease. It was really an old gas station. And it was me, myself, and I for almost 2 years. I always been a people person, and my phone would ring and somebody a neighbor needed a car fixed, and it just kind of grew from there, and always worked on nice cars and had the reputation for it. And blood, sweat, and tears, man, a lot of 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, working to get a car done. If people want something right now, we'll pick right or now. You can't use that in the same sentence. It doesn't work with high-end cars. Everybody says, I want it right, do your thing. The staff always talk about the taillights that left today. Taillights are leaving at the shop right now. That's as good as we are. Forget about the car we did 20 years ago.
All the other jobs, I just didn't want to disappoint out of fear. Here, it's more of I don't want to disappoint out of respect. Everybody here it's just the greatest team. I guess basically we're all just misfits, but we all fit together.
Everybody knows Stuart's. Everybody. If you're a tech in Dallas, everybody knows Stuart's, knows of him, knows of his work and his reputation. He started out with one 911, did it himself, painted that car, and it took off from there. The man put everything into it. You can just look at the shop that he built. He went from one level to the next level to the next level, and he did it all on his own. It just makes everybody in here want to go work harder for him. I've been spraying for 32 years. I started my career out working on these kind of cars, and I wanted to finish my career working on these kind of cars. I can't think of a better place to do it.
This is the biggest team that I've ever really truly worked with. When I first came here, saw Stuart touching up a car, and that just kind of blew me away, seeing an owner out there. Like say if our polisher is on vacation for a week, Stuart will get in there, he'll buff for several days. It's kind of like you can't say no to do any job around here by saying it's not my job, because look at the leadership that we have. How can you not respect an owner when he gets in the trenches with the rest of us? I mean, he is hands-on in and out every day.
Of all my 40 years, this is the most meticulous shop I have worked at. I've worked at some shops that are very close to this, but this place is very, very meticulous in the way the fine details of the car go together. I think part of it is because Stuart's an enthusiast, and 99% of the people that work here are car enthusiasts. So it's kind of crazy as it sounds, a labor of love on top of we're fixing someone's car for money.
Well, I just try to make a car as perfect as we can get them here, Look at the cars as if they were mine. So before I let a car go, I would think I'd be happy with that car. It doesn't matter if it's a Honda or a Ferrari.
Look, we walk in the shop, we're numb. We've had our hands on most everything. But there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. Not only are you fixing the car, but you got to take care of it while it's under your roof, right? The techs have got to be on their A game, because they're working on something that's not just you fix it and they're just going to go drive it. They, put maybe 1,200 miles on it in a year.
It just comes with repeat and habit. It becomes second nature. But yeah, you're very careful with the expensive parts. Inspect them when they show up. Sometimes they show up damaged. I've seen $25,000 parts be messed up. We send them back the day we open them out of the box.
And the clients, their expectations are always very, very high. They're also not happy that $150,000 to $1 million to $2 million to $3 million to $4 million car is in a shop getting fixed. So once it's done, their eyes are on it, or they've got a professional person that's going to detail it, that takes care of their cars. And some of these guys, they've got keen eyes, and they're just looking for the most smallest flaw. From the outside looking in, it's awesome, but it's a lot of pressure. to get done in a timely manner and get it done right.
We have an 87 930 slant nose Porsche that was in really good shape when it was brought in, had a few rock chips, had a couple of waves in the quarter panels, and the gentleman decided that he wanted to freshen the entire car up. It's no different than having a remodel done on your home. You know, you go through your home, you've got your home all tore apart. You know, you got the place that you raise your family in, it's almost like it takes part of your heart away for a little while. But the main thing is to be able to put it back together and make it as good or better than it was when you started. As far as I go with it, I don't trust myself completely. I always get another set of eyes. You've got to be very humble to do this. To do cars on this level all the time. Every once in a while is fine, but if you're going to do them all the time for a living, you've got to be humble enough to ask somebody else's opinion and ask for other people to look at it, because other people are going to find things that you don't see, always.
You know, I don't look at every car anymore. We're push a lot of work out, but my service riders QC what jobs they're doing, and I tell them, look, when you put it out front, you shouldn't have to sell the job, right? Hey, we'll get it done, we get out front, we can sell this. No, let's put it out front and let the job sell itself. You should be able to walk back, client asks you questions, walk around it, you're done. There's no selling body shop work. There's no selling a paint job. For me to walk out and look at a car, you know, I do daily, but I just know when they're out front, they're right. When QCG approached me, I knew at some point, you know, my kids, they're not into the business. They're doing they're entrepreneurs, they're doing their life, their thing. So, you know, for me to leave the business with somebody, a family member, that wasn't going to be a thing. The shops that they had acquired and explained how it went down, and that if you didn't know from the inside that there was an acquisition or a partnership, right? From the outside looking in, nobody knows the difference. The name stays the same. All the shops that QCG has acquired and the growth that's happening, the names are still on the buildings. These guys can take it to the next step. The challenge is here in Texas is Stuart's number 2 and 3 and 4 as we grow, is that it still has that mentality of quality. It may not be the unicorn shop with all the Ferraris and stuff, but whatever we're working on, that's what it's about, and having that reputation here in Texas. And with Stuart's where it is now, you know, 40 years later, you're only as good as the taillights that leave that day. I look back at how long I've been in this industry. It's my blood, it's my soul. You know, my kids are going, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you gonna, you know, it's like, it's just, it's me.